You make it. We mock it. You Make It, We Mock It is a series where we ask our viewers to come up with their own radical 12-gauge slug designs. In some ways, it's like rocketry, and things do go wrong sometimes. In some ways, it's kind of like a Pinewood Derby car that you might have built in the Cub Scouts, where you have to maintain certain specs and dimensions and stuff. But it's always really amazing what I will open up in the mail and receive from these talented creators. Today we are testing a slug called the Starburst, and this comes from Brian from Northern California. Now this is made from 12 stainless steel cotter pins, and those are attached to a key ring at the bottom and has some little O-rings as spacers. At the very center of the slug is a 7/16 stainless steel core that in itself weighs 2/3 of an ounce. And at the very bottom we have a stainless steel base, and that will help distribute the force across the bottom of the slug. The slug is actually quite long for a 12-gauge projectile, measuring 1 5/8 inches or around 41.5 millimeters. A common 12-gauge slug, like the Foster slug, weighs 1 ounce, and today we have 39.5 grams of weight, or we could call it 1.4 ounces really, or 609 grains in weight. That's a hefty boy for sure. Now, You Make It, We Mock It is also a big challenge for me, as I have to come up with a recipe to make this all fit and function in this 3-inch shell. Now, since the slug is so long, I have to use some kind of compact components like the short gas seal, the short fiber wad, and we'll be using a sabot. Actually, 2 sabots, because the first sabot wasn't long enough. So we have a split sabot in the front and a kind of a 4-pedal, it's a shot cup at the back. Now the walls of the sabots are 30/1000ths of an inch, and that'll give us the perfect fit in our rifled bore today. And you may have noticed that there's not a lot of room there for the powder, but we will be able to use and start out with 30 grains of long shot for this project. And we had just enough room for a cute little roll crimp there. Barely made it. Now let's go out and test them and see how these things perform.
I'm Niels. We're shooting the Starburst, the 12 stainless steel cotter pin round.
Now when you have an experimental round that has never been tested, it's kind of long and it's kind of heavy. It might be a good idea to do a remote firing of it. So that's what we decided to do here. Thank you again, Brian from Cincinnati, for that device.
All right, fire.
Okay, that looked promising.
The first target is the 30-pound lead plate. It's approximately 1.5 inches thick, very difficult to penetrate with most slugs. We use a Chronos high-speed camera to analyze the flight of the slug. And in this case, we can also analyze the condition of the sabots. The projectile was traveling at 1,410.5 feet per second, and that was measured using this lab radar, Doppler radar type chronograph. Very precise. Looking at the shot again, we could see that it is very stable in flight as it spins at 28,200 RPM. But we can also see some signs of distress as some of the epoxy jacket is being sloughed off from that high rotational force. Other than that, very accurate shot, but did it go through? That's the million-dollar question here. Let's check it out.
Right.
Other side of it?
Huh?
Other side of it?
Let me zoom in. Is it?
There's a hole straight through.
You got to pump it a few times. You got to do some curls. There you go. You got the shirt for it. Jeez. You got the guns.
Brian has successfully turned an Ace Hardware into a ammo depot.
That's a great lead plate shot, and he had full penetration
All the way through.
That's freaking awesome. And it just flew a little tiny bit high. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Must have missed.
Remember when I said this is a lot like rocketry? Here we have the rapid, unscheduled disassembly of the slug. due to the high rotational forces. And somehow none of those pieces hit the target. It was a cool target too. Look at the ducks.
So yeah, this is the sitting ducks. There we go.
Okay, that kind of worked.
Yeah, it sort of worked, and it definitely did not work. But again, that high angular momentum, or the colloquial term centrifugal force, ripped that slug apart. We could also call that centripetal force, or as the British say, centripetal force. I think I might have got that one right. It's obvious that we have a problem here. Brian spent a lot of time making these things, and we have to honor that by doing our best to try to make these things work. So we're going to halt the test, rethink how they were loaded, and try again the next day. The biggest change we made was reduce the powder load by 5 grains. That's only about 1/3 of a gram. This will reduce the velocity of the projectile, but also reduce the spin rate proportionally. Our first target for today is a 3/8 inch thick mild steel plate. With the new recipe, things are definitely looking more promising. Fortunately, only my camera settings didn't look too promising on this shot. We had a really nice impact, and you can actually see that stainless steel core just falling out of the little hole it made. The projectile is now traveling at 1,250 feet per second, still supersonic. But more importantly, for this projectile to not fly apart, our spin rate is now 25,000 RPM instead of around 28,000.
So we got almost penetration here on this plate. You can see
That is kind of cool. You got to stick your pinky in there or something, man.
Yeah, well,
Is it pinky size?
yeah, it's pinky safe, not too sharp, and then
Oh, nice.
got a little dent there. And I think
That's a-
think we pushed this little piece from a different shot into the water jug. That's
Yeah,
why he's
well, look at
bleeding a little
that dark stuff on there. It looked like it blasted any oxidation or whatever.
That's one
right
way
into
to
the-
clean a plate.
Yeah,
Shoot it.
slag or whatever that is. I'm sure someone will give us the proper term in the comment section.
But I don't know. Can you see that well? Because that is like such a perfect little circle it made there.
It really is.
And you can see around the outside of it, the cotter pins also struck.
Oh,
like,
you're right.
evenly.
Man, I'm glad you pointed that out, because I would have missed that, because I'm that way.
All right.
And then what do we find on the ground?
Oh, is that the core? That's the core right there. Ooh, it's hot. Hot
Is it?
day. Looks like it's still intact.
It's all. Let me hold it so I can get a. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But
Is it kind of mushroomed out or anything? Or?
no, it's perfect. It, like barely any wiggle room in there.
That's a big piece. That's a big piece of steel, or stainless steel, actually. Look at that. Very impressive. Okay, ready when you are.
All right.
We often refer to this target as the vegan meat target. It is essentially just a stack of catalogs that have been soaking in water for several days. It is about 10 inches thick, and it gives us a pretty good idea how the slugs will react hitting a fleshy target. Here comes the slug, flying nice and stable. Maybe a tiny little wobble to it, but look at that accuracy, pretty much dead center in the catalogs. And behind the target, Niels put a couple cans of shaving cream just for added effect. And there is no question that we got full penetration on that target. And boy, is it sure nice when things work properly. Now next we're going to do an autopsy on this stack, and we'll finally be able to see what effect those cotter pins, also known as split pins, have on the target.
That would help. It's a big. I heard we have a big bucket of water over there for doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So anyway,
All right.
Wait, show the front damage, and before we cut it open, nice big old hole there that you could.
Oh wow, you could stick like 4 fingers in there.
Right.
Jesus.
And then turn it around, and we know we got. There's no surprise that we got an exit, a pretty good size exit. And that would probably be the core. But what I'm curious about is what those cotter pins did. So now we're going to cut that thing open, so and
you want to cut it down the side?
Yeah, just cut the tape, and then it should be free. And then you can start peeling it back and. As it kind of opens up bigger and oh, look at that.
Nothing there.
Yeah, but it's look at the holes is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now that is okay. Rotate it this way. That is gruesome there. You can actually see where the I mean, compare that to the size of his fingers. I mean, that's a good 2-inch hole there.
Oh, hold on. I think there's something in here. I felt something in there.
Look at that. Oh, I'm telling you, Brian, the master caster from Lancaster.
Look at that. That's a fist-sized hole in there.
Yeah. And then, okay, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty there.
Yeah, those are still in the book.
You can see that yellow tape I added to it. That's the centrifugal force.
Is that? I think that's all 12 of them. Let's see. 1.
Oh, they came apart, huh? Look, they actually opened up too.
2.
Oh my
3.
gosh! I never even thought they would do that.
Oh, we got a few on this one. 4.
Oh, this is
4.
genius.
5.
I never even thought of putting cotter pins.
6.
That's how Brian thinks.
7. 8.
Piece of wire? What is that about?
Is that the wire that holds them together?
I don't know. He just.
We'll have to ask
how do you
Brian.
fit that in there?
Oh, there's another one. 9.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
The fact that the cotter pins
10.
actually spread open, it just blows my mind. I don't think anyone in human history has thought of using cotter pins in a shotgun slug. But that's how Brian thinks. He's very, very creative.
Oh.
Man, you're like Hulk Hogan there.
There we go. 12. That's all 12 of them.
But just the fact that they opened up like that, that's insane. I did not expect it. I mean, never. Okay, and I have to explain this every time. These have never been tested before. It's a theory of what they do, and they function so freaking well. I'm impressed.
We got Granger Man.
Oh no! Right, took off his arm.
We took his products and we shot him with it.
That's Hugo.
Poor guy.
That's Hugo.
Hugo.
He looks like a Hugo. Right. Ears it. Your ears in and everything.
Yep.
Okay, make it so. Go. Jeez.
Did I get it?
I think so. Okay, make it so. Go. Jeez. Go.
Hey, sometimes you just have to have a fun and impractical target. Look closely as we see the cotter pins flying out the back and also split like we saw in the wet magazines. That's pretty cool. And I must give credit to Niels for bringing out the rubber ducks. Who doesn't love seeing dozens of little rubber ducks flying through the air? Well, maybe Mama Rubber Duck wouldn't like that, but we all enjoy it, right? Since we can pretty much see exactly what happened and what kind of damage this big trash can full of water and ducks did, we can move on to the next target.
Okay, we got the giant clear Ballistics brand gummy bear with a brick behind it. That ought to be interesting. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, I'll go for it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll go for it.
And this is why I love high-speed cameras. We capture something very unusual occurring on this shot. As the Starburst slug travels downrange, everything looks good until a few inches from the target, and then it opens like a clamshell. Now you may have noticed a little strip of yellow tape around the nose, and that was another half-ass attempt to try to keep these things from flying apart, and it kind of worked up till this point. But we have a very chaotic scene here. We have the core smashing the brick. We have, again, the cotter pins flying out, cutting through that target. Some of them are opening up. Looks like one or two that didn't open up. It's amazing that they did open up to me. And you can almost describe those cotter pins acting like expanding hollow point flechettes. I don't know. It's crazy. But in all the years of doing this, we've never seen any slug function like this one has. It's absolutely unique, and I am just excited to be part of it.
Something really weird. The slug opened up like, I don't know, like Bombay doors right a moment before it impacts. So we have a really weird entry wound there.
We got one pin right there.
We've got a pin.
Inside.
You got some of that yellow tape that I wrapped around the nose of it to try to keep it from flying apart.
And then it definitely went out the back here. You can't really see it on the back, but I don't know. Can you see, like, that cross section is amazing? Looks
and,
like
and the core is still in there. It must have bounced off the brick and back into the gel block.
anything to make this thing heavier. Ugh.
Yeah, right. That thing, it's so big. I'm about ready to recast that thing into a gel block anyway.
Let's see, we got half a brick.
So that's pretty wild how I never thought we'd see that pin again, the core.
Didn't kill the shaving cream. That brick is demolished.
Yeah, I thought that we'd never see that pin. It just bounced back into the gummy bear.
We got some cotter pins over here.
What? Hey, I'll end up driving over those. It's like, how did I get this cotter pin in my tire? Okay, the Telflator head. He's got some orange water in there. He's got his swim goggles on for protection. Will the goggles protect him?
This one's for you, Pop.
Okay, hit it. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, hit it. Oh.
I actually make my own ballistic heads, and I'll explain why that is. Here it comes. Beautiful shot, dead center. Now inside the head we have just an ordinary water bottle with a soapy water solution with various dyes in it. Now what this does is gives us a slight time delay before the reaction of the soapy solution starts spewing out everywhere. That way we can see objects flying out of the back. We saw a couple cotter pins, in fact, and that's really unique and really important for this type of target. Now in the past I did buy one of those really cool ballistic gel zombie heads. Now that thing was $220. It took nearly a month for it to arrive, and it was only good for one shot, and in the trash it went. I can reuse my heads several times. But one of the biggest logistical problems with the zombie head was it arrived partially damaged from the heat during shipping.
Yeah, I got him right through the mouth, right in the smile.
That's important to hit it dead center so that he hits the water bottle. As you can see, inside there is a water bottle.
There was a water bottle.
Yeah, he ejected that somehow.
He got some cotter pins sticking out the back of his neck.
And there's another one.
A couple lodged in is right behind the ear, right there.
I think it's so impressive that they open up like that. It was kind of like the wet magazines.
There's a couple more in the below the left ear.
Look at the penetration on that. That would be, as the commenters say, oh, a surgeon's worst nightmare.
Are you sorry?
A surgeon's or the mortician's worst nightmare. It's kind of 50-50 there. I'm loving these things. The cotter pin, brilliant idea. Good job, Brian. And I've got to make Brian his own playlist. He's got so many
playlists.
Oh, seriously, yeah. I just need to sit down and take the time. It's a pain in the butt to do that. It takes a couple hours.
The duck is unharmed. As I always say, no ducks were harmed in the making of any of these shots.
Yeah, they're very. I love the ducks. I mean, that was a brilliant idea. And then the shaving. You put shaving cream behind there for some reason.
Yeah, and I just got the cap.
You hit
just the cap.
Yeah, that's marksmanship there, man.
Still functioning. Still functioning.
You could shave things with that. All right, let's find another target. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Wow. So it's shot high. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Wow.
This is just a fantastic gel shot. It's just nothing but pure chaos as it travels through the gel. We probably saw glimpses of those cotter pins flying out of the top and out of the sides and stuff. And I want to give a quick, sincere thank you to Clear Ballistics, who have provided us a lot of blocks and other targets over the years. I'm very grateful to them for their generosity. And I don't take stuff like that for granted. I will reuse that block, recast it over and over again until it gets so murky that then I turn it into one of my ballistic heads or a gummy bear or whatever. Now, in regards to the shot placement on it, you notice it shot very high. I asked Niels to aim about an inch below the top edge, thinking that height over bore and all that was going to land the slug about in the middle of the block, but it ended up going exactly where he was actually aiming. Now let's take a closer look at this block and see what happened. It's pretty gnarly, let me tell you.
Oddity. Yeah, almost all the way to the end. There's that was a very. I told him to aim a little, an inch below the top of the block. He did, and that's exactly where it went.
Yeah. But it's really cool. You can see the perfect circle in the front here, and then it immediately bursts. It starbursts into this kind of umbrella cloud here.
Yeah.
Looks like a broken umbrella when you lose all the stuff, and you just got the wires.
and there's just more, it just carried those things through there, opening up like a.
And as promised, not a single duck harmed.
Do we dare shoot another block shot?
I think we dare.
We have one left.
Tell you what, even though this is
Shut up,
already
Jeff.
recorded, if the audience likes and comments and subscribes, then we'll do a second shot.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alrighty, here we go.
I gotta tell you, this Starburst slug sure impressed me. I hope it impressed you too. Remember, this was not made by an ammo company or a military industrial complex or anything. It was made by one of our viewers who meticulously assembled this very complicated, complex slug in his garage. And I think Brian told me that each slug took a couple hours each to fabricate. Perhaps in the distant future, this is what ammunition will look like. This is decades ahead of what is currently available out there. As of today, these are only proof of concept prototypes.
Okay, that was much better shot placement. You didn't listen to me and you aimed where you wanted to aim, and it worked out a lot better. So we got an entirely new wound track, and it seemed to function quite well.
Is this this streak here on the Kevlar? Is that where it kind of grazed out? Is this?
It looked like you could see a track going downwards on that, that had them in the core, and this is like a trough that just gouged out of that ballistic paneling, and there is a cotter pin right there that somehow made it. But again, we have a big trail of bent cotter pins. Just an ugly wound. Just a diabolical slug. I'm just absolutely impressed. I think a lot of people are going to be very impressed with this, because it's kind of the damage we're seeing is unlike anything we've really seen before. You know, often they'll, you know, a fragmenting slug will all just fragment it right at the first few inches, but this one just carried those cotter pins all the way through the block. It's a 16-inch block, and of course the core bored all the way through again. Yeah, it's just fantastic, man. Again, never tested before, and when we did some test shots with these yesterday, we had some failures from overspeed, over inertia, causing the slug to open up in the air from the spin. So by reducing the velocity, we reduced that spin rate down to probably closer to 25,000 RPM.
You get a front shot here, you can see this one kind of opened up a little before. This one opened up as soon as it got in. That's why it's got the perfect circle. This one, it's like already.
I wonder if it did like that, the shot on the big gummy bear,
yeah,
where it started to open up a little bit from centripetal force.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that slice.
Yeah, and it's just a train of all those cotter pins.
Oh, and here's all the ones that were coming out of the bottom.
Okay. So it veered downwards a little bit, which is still okay. It still made it through the block. It's still a good shot.
Oh yeah, it shredded right through there.
Oh.
We got a little collection of them right there.
Yeah, that one. That one opened up.
Call this the surgeon's nightmare?
That's what. There's. Okay, surgeon's nightmare, a war crime.
I believe it's called the Geneva Suggestion.
Geneva Suggestion. It's never a war crime the first time. Okay, we got all that out of the way. Save a lot of people, 500 people from making the same comment. They all think they're the first ones to say it.
They'll make it anyway, and that's okay. We love them for it.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, also, as promised, again, no harm ducks. 'Cause I would never harm my babies.
Those ducks were a great idea. I'm glad you thought of putting those on there.
Always think of ducks.
Yeah. It shows the energy, and it gives me something to focus the camera on. That's the most important thing. That's it.
Should I tell people who I am? I don't know if they care. If you want to be associated with a political channel, or people will hate you for that.
Well, no matter what I do, people are going to hate me for something. But okay. So you are a YouTuber, aren't you?
I am a YouTuber. I'm the soy pill. I don't shoot stuff nearly so often. I do political commentary, but I'm not here for political commentary. I'm here to show everyone that guns are fun for everyone. That's an apolitical statement.
Yeah, I think a lot of our viewers are not going to like your politics, and you're not going to like their politics.
That's fine.
So let's just leave it at that.
Anyone has a problem with me, they can come out here and we can have a good time together.
That's right. Nicest guy, I never would have guessed what your politics were if you never told me, except for the stupid hat.
I gotta let people know something.
That's your trademark, huh?
Yeah, that's my trademark.
Well, that's it.
Well, thank you for inviting me out here. Really.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's having someone else shoot the gun instead of using that stupid test rig.
That's why you invited me. You're like, this guy over here. Maybe it'll blow up on him.
You're just a little better than the test. The remote trigger, remote detonator thing. But yeah, it's a lot better when we have a person. I can talk to somebody out here instead of talking to myself.
Then you really do fit the prepper stereotype. You got all these hardware slugs, and you're out here talking to yourself, and you're going crazy out in the hot sun.
Yeah.
But what's it called? I think if Brian was the star of Home Alone. It would have been a much more fun movie.
Yeah, he's ready for the zombie apocalypse for sure. with his unusual slugs. And like I said, I've got to get his own playlist together so we can see the evolution of his creativity.
Mayhem.
His mayhem, yes. He started out kind of simple, and they're just getting more and more complex and more impressive. So I'll do that so people can go back and see more of his stuff. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to give it a thumbs up, I'm just reminding you, I'm not telling you. You don't have to, but I'd like it. It'd be very nice of you. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.